Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Kaina Shahid and the topic that we are discussing is linear application of operational amplifier. We have already discussed about a few application in the last class, and it was using op-amp as an inverter, as an unity gain amplifier, and also as a summer or voltage adder. Okay, so these are few applications. There are other few application of operational amplifier working in linear region is also there. So we will be discussing about the linear application of operational amplifier today also. So before going to other application, let's just solve few questions that is based on the previous class. Okay, so if we just saw this voltage, we have to find out, saw this circuit, we have to find out the output voltage VO. Okay, now first thing that we are going to notice is that this input voltage V1 and V2 has been applied at the positive terminal. Okay, that means what? It is a non-inverting type of operational amplifier. We can say that because inverting amplifier is grounded, inverting terminal is grounded, and because at the non-inverting terminal 2 voltages has been applied, it is non-inverting, it can act as a non-inverting amplifier, right? But another thing is that there is not one single voltage, but there are two voltages that has been applied into the terminal through a help of two resistances. Okay, so we can guess this is the for the addition of two voltages. Okay, so we can just try to solve this equation as it is, and we'll find out whether it is an adder or a subtractor or whatever it is. So we have to just solve the this circuit in a manner that we have been solving the operational amplifier circuitry. Okay, so one thing is for this V minus and V plus, due to virtual ground concept that we have already discussed many times, and we will be talking about a lot whenever we are solving any circuit. Okay, so due to this concept, we will be saying that this V plus is equal to V of minus. Okay, next thing is due to high input impedance. Again, this is another golden rule of operational amplifier. Input impedance, what we are saying that there will be no flow of current inside the operational amplifier. This is infinitive, right? So this I will be equal to this I will be equal to 0. Okay, this I will be equal to 0. So we can say that there will be no flow of current. This I will be equal to 0, input current is. Okay, now we can solve for this I1 and I2. If we apply KCL at this terminal V plus, what we will get? We will get that this I1 plus I2 will be equal to 0. Okay, why? Because there is no outside current here, right? So what is I1? This I1 is nothing but V1 minus V plus by 2k, right? V1 minus V plus by 2, and this I2 is nothing but V2 minus V plus by 3, right? This. So from here we can find out a relation. So we can solve it. 3V1, it will be 2, 3V plus 2V2 minus 2V plus equal to 0. Okay, that yeah, this is the V plus and this is the total plus. So this can be written as minus 5V plus 3V1 5, actually, yeah, this is, sorry, so we can just rewrite it. Okay, so this yeah, this is V plus V1 minus plus 2V2, right, equal to 0. So from here if we try to find out the V plus, it is nothing but 3V1 plus 2V2 by 5, right. So this is our V plus we have find out. Now because V1 V2 is not given in this equation, that means the format the output will be come as a in form of V1 V2. Okay, now what this V plus is not our aim. Okay, our aim is to find out the VO. Now what is VO? VO for non-inverting amplifier we can directly write is, if this is the voltage, this is grounded, okay, then due to virtual ground, if V plus is equal to V minus, then we can directly write for this voltage the gain of the non-inverting amplifier is nothing but 1 plus RF by R of N1 into VI, right. So in this case the VI is nothing but this V plus, because this is grounded, okay, and this 1 plus RF is 9 by 1 into V plus, okay, here this is V plus, so this is nothing but 10 V plus, okay, this. So we can write V plus is nothing but from here we can find out V plus is nothing but VO by 10, okay. So we can just directly put it here and find out the relation. This is nothing but 2V2 by 5, which is actually VO is 6V1 plus 4V2. Okay, so what we are saying at the output, what we are getting at the output, we are getting at the output is weighted sum of input voltages. Okay, this 6 and 4 is nothing but the scaling factor, you can say, okay, and this is called weighted sum. Why? Because the value has the V1 and V2 is being added but with some weighted value, okay, weighted sum of inputs, okay. So this is the output of this equation. Okay, I think this is as simple as it looks. We just have applied two golden rules, this and this, and we have used KCL, and we directly use the formula for the non-inverting amplifier and find out the relation between VO and the input voltage, and here we have find out the output voltage. Okay, okay. So next question, this question is very simple. It is just to show you how just to practice how we are solving it, right. So we have to find out I1, V1 and these all things. So we will continue. Okay, so we will keep in mind the golden rules and solve the circuit, right. So what is this I1? This I1, what is I1? I1 for due to high input impedance, this will be equal to 0. Okay, this I1 will be equal to 0. Why? Because of the high input impedance. Why? Because there is no other path here. So what is V1? V1 is this is V1, this is Vi. Okay, so this V1 is nothing but, this voltage is nothing but equal to this. So V1 is actually V of I, okay, which is nothing but 1 volt. So this is what V plus equal to V minus. Okay, it is virtually shorted, or we can say virtual ground. Okay, so this is one thing. Another thing is I1, sorry, this is II, okay, this is II, which is 0, and I1 is this current. Okay, I1 is this current. What is I1? This, if this V1 is equal to 1 volt, then I1 is what? I1 is nothing but V1 by 1 kilo ohm, which is nothing but 1 milliampere, right? What is I2? So we can see that because there is no flow of current inside this is 0. That means whatever current is following here, this path, the same current will be following through this path. Okay, so we can write I1 is nothing but equal to I of 2. That means I2 is nothing but equal to I of 1 actually. And yeah, so we can write in whatever manner we wish to. Okay, so this is I1, and which is nothing but 1 milliampere. Already we have find out. Okay, next thing is to find out VO. Yeah, so what is VO? VO is the output voltage. So here we seen that this is nothing but 1 volt. Okay, and I2 we know 1 milliampere, so we can actually write this V1 minus VO by 9K. Actually the direction will be different. This is yeah, V1, sorry. So this is your yeah, this is your V direction of the current is in this direction, so that's why we will be taking as a negative sign. Okay, so this okay, I'm sorry, so we can just directly write it. Okay, so what is this VO? VO, if we just write the equation for I2, okay, if we just write the equation for I2, which is nothing but VO minus V1 by 9, we will be able to find out this is 1 milliampere, this is VO, V1 is 1 volt, and this is 9, which implies VO is nothing but 10. Okay, and this is 10 volt. This is our one answer. This is our second answer. This is our third. Okay, this is our fourth answer, and this is our fifth. Okay, VO is 10 volt. Now next is IL. So what is IL? If we just try to find out what is IL, so IL is what? IL is the load current. So if we know the output voltage VO, we can directly find out IL. So VO is by RL, you can say, which is nothing but VO is 10 volt, RL is 1, hence IL can be 10 milliampere. Okay, this is 1K, this is 10 milliampere. This is another solution. Okay, okay, so we don't have to circle it, it's leave it. So this is our answer. Yeah, 10 milliampere is IL, right? Next is IO. Okay, so this is the new current. We have not been discussed about this because the op-amp normally can work as a current source also, and there is because of very low resistance at the output terminal, this resistance is very low, all the current can flow through the flow through the load. Okay, there will be no voltage drop across the output terminal. Sorry, there will be no voltage drop across this terminal, so the loading effect will be very less, hence the output voltage whatever gain that we are getting, there will be very small amount of reduction in practical operational amplifier. Okay, so here we can see that IO is nothing but this current I2, this is your I2, and this IL. Okay, so IO we can write I2 plus I of L. Okay, this is nothing but the summation of, again we are applying KCL at this point. Okay, so IO is nothing but summation of I2 plus IL, and we know IO, we know I2 is the actually 1 milliampere and IL is 10 milliampere, right? So we have IO as 11 milliampere. Okay. Okay. Next thing is to find out VO, VI, IL, II, and PL, PI. So VO, VI, as we know, VO, VI is what? This is non-inverting amplifier, so it will be 1 plus RF by R1, okay, into V of 1. What is V of 1? It is 1 volt, that is, so this is 1 plus 9, 1 into VI, V1 is 1 volt, that is 10. Okay, so this VO is 10 volt, and this is actually the gain, so we don't have to calculate the total amount, we can just write the equation. This is V1, so VO by V1 is nothing but 1 plus 9, that is 10. Okay, the gain is your 10. Next thing is to find out the IL by II, which is nothing but IL is your this is II. Okay, this is not I1, so II is what? II is 0. Okay, we have said this II is 0, so IL is actually 10 milliampere. Okay, this is 10 milliampere, but I1 is 0, hence it will be infinity. That means what we are saying, the current gain is infinity. Okay, and PL by PI, again if we write VLIL like simple equation, VIII, because the II is 0, this will be infinity again. Okay, so this will be infinity again. So this was just to show you how simple the operational amplifier calculation can be. Okay, another equation, if we just practice this, it will be helpful. So if we just want to find out the relation between VO by VI, that is the gain, we can see this is 0 volt, so this will be 0 volt, right? Why? Because V minus is equal to V plus. V plus is 0 volt, so it will be equal to 0 volt, right? So if we just find out the relation, then this is node voltage, two voltages, we can see all the resistances are equal, and the current that is following is this path will be following here also. Okay, this can be one current, this can be one, this can be one, this is the parallel paths, right? So we can just try to solve that what is this I1. So this I1 is nothing but VI by R, right? So this is the current. Why? Because there is no flow of current inside this terminal, so this can be VI by R. Okay, next thing is, if we apply voltage KCL at this terminal, so this is actually equal to the current that is following in this path, okay, which is nothing but 0 minus V1 by R. Okay, so we can have a relation, VI is nothing but minus V of 1. Okay, so or we can say V1 is nothing but minus VI. Now if we apply a KCL at this point, okay, at V1 point, then we will have this V1 minus this is 0 volt, V1 minus 0 by R plus V1 by R plus V1 minus V2 by R. We can write this. Okay, all the outgoing current will be equal to 0. So we have assumed that all the current is following in outside direction, right? And we are applying just a node equation at the node. We are doing the current node analysis at the V1 node. So from here we can have a relation of V1 and V2. Here you can see all R's are equal, so it can be 3 V1 is equal to V of 2. Okay, this is one relation that we have get. Another relation is if we apply this node voltage at V2, what will happen? We can write V2 minus V1 by R plus V2 by R plus V2 minus VO by R equal to 0. Okay, hence we can again write this is nothing but 3 V2 minus V1 minus VO equal to 0, and 3 if we just write equation V2 minus V1 equal to V of O. Okay, and what is this what we are trying to find out? V1 by VO by VI. Okay, and this VI is nothing but equal to, okay, I am sorry for my lines, yeah. So if we have this relation also, so we can just put these values, right? What is V1 and what is V2? If we can just put this value in this equation, we will be able to find out. So what is V2? This we can write V2 is nothing but minus 3 VI, right? From this equation we can write this, right? From this equation we can find out this value. So what is V2? V2 is 3 into minus 3 VI, and this V1 is nothing but VI, so this is VI and equal to V of O. So this implies VO is nothing but this is 9 plus 8, that is 9 plus 1 is minus 8 V of I. Okay, so we can have a gain of V of I is minus 8. This is our output relation. Okay, so we can see the only thing that was scaring us that a lot of resistance has been connected in the feedback part. Okay, so this does not make the equation complex. We are just going to use the same principle of node analysis and loop equation you can use, and we are just using the node equations here, current node equation for current flow, and we are using the golden rules of operational amplifier and just solving the equation as it is. Okay, so this is the another example that I needed to discuss with you all. Okay, so till now we have talked about the circuits that where we have seen that whatever the terminal is, what we are saying that one should either one is grounded and we are applying a signal at the one terminal, it can be minus plus, or we are using voltage like this is V1 and this is grounded. Okay, we have been using this circuits only where we are applying one voltage at the one terminal and the other terminal is usually grounded. Okay, now we will be discussing what if we have two voltages at the two terminal. Okay, what will happen? So we will just solve this equation and find out what kind of circuitry is this. It is written here, this is difference amplifier. So if this is difference amplifier, what we are saying, because it is inverting and non-inverting terminal, that's why we are saying that all the voltages that we apply here, we will get the amplification, but the amplification will be in terms of it will amplify the difference between the both the input signal. But why we have to apply another resistance? What we are not saying, are we not saying that the operational amplifier is itself a differential amplifier? Yes, we were saying that, we were saying that the operational amplifier is itself is a differential amplifier. Op-amp is nothing but a differential amplifier which amplifies the difference between the signals. Okay, that amplifies the V2 minus V1. This kind of we have already talked. Then why we are not using the operational amplifier directly for the difference amplifier, and why we are actually using this circuits. So it's actually has a certain impact of resistances value. Okay, the input because of very high input impedance of the op-amp, and also we know that at the open loop situation the gain is very high, which always tends to saturation region. Okay, because we are always concerned about, we are talking here operational amplifier application in linear region. Okay, that means when the op-amp is acting in as a linear device, how we can use it, right? But if we are using operational amplifier in open loop condition, the due to very high open loop gain, the operational amplifier tends to saturate. Okay, tends to saturate, and that we don't need it, because in saturation it is only going to give you two values, and our purpose is to work in a linear region. So to have a difference amplifier in linear region, this is the circuitry that we are going to use. Okay, that means we have made some connections and we have applied two different voltages at the two terminal. Okay, this is the one voltage, this is another voltage that we are applying. So how to solve this equation? One thing is we can simply solve the using the node equations, like applying KCL at all the terminals. This I minus and I plus is 0. Okay, this I minus and I plus is actually 0. Okay, due to very high input impedance. Okay, this node V minus and V plus will be equal, V minus equal to V plus. Okay, so either we can solve this equation with a lot of complexity, like solving a current here and then finding out the relation between this equation and this equation, or we can say that because this operational amplifier is a linear device, okay, we can use superposition. That means whenever we are talking about a linear device, that means the summation of all the inputs will be summation of output of due to individual input can be taken, right? So output voltage when both the input signals are applied will be equal to the output voltage when output voltage of summation of individual inputs applied to the operational amplifier or any linear circuit, right? So here we can use both the way. Okay, so if we just trying to make our life easier, we don't want to go to the finding out this I and then this I and this I, okay, and then find a relation. What we have learned that the op-amp is working in linear region. That means in linear region we can use superposition, right? We can use superposition theorem. And also we can use the formulas directly. Okay, so one thing is, in superposition we first make the other source grounded and then we solve for the circuitry. Okay, so before going to that, let's solve it. Okay, let's solve it in general way, how we are getting the output, and then we will be solving with the help of superposition. Okay, yeah. So this you can write it as a yeah. So actually this we will be doing in the next slide. We can do find out the normal relation. Okay, so first thing is this V minus this current, that is if we apply KCL at this node, that means V minus VI1 by R1 plus V minus VO by R2 equal to 0. Okay, so from here we can have a relation of this V minus can be written as 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1. Why we are writing this in this way, we will be discussing soon. Okay, so this is your V minus, and we can write VI1, and this is our R1, and VO by R2 equal to 0. Okay, we can again solve for VO, but let's keep it here now, and we apply the KCL node at the other terminal. Okay, so this, if this is our equation 1, we can apply node at B plus also, KCL. Okay. So this V plus minus VI2 by R3, and this V plus by R4 equal to 0. Okay, so here we can see this is nothing but this is V plus 1 by R4 plus 1 by R3, and this is nothing but VI2 by R of 3, that is equal to 0. Okay, so what we are saying? We are saying that this V plus and V minus is equal, right? We are saying this V minus and V plus are equal. So we can simplify this equation by writing this V minus plus this V minus minus V plus is equal to 0. Okay, we can write this, or we can just write it is equal and find out the relation. Okay, so we have to just solve this equation again. We can simplify this equation with the help of this can be V minus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1, and this is VI1 R1 plus VO by R2. Okay, yeah, so this is this can be actually solved easily. Okay, let's solve it here only. So if we are saying this V minus is equal to V plus, what we have for V minus? We have for V minus is VI by R1 plus VO by R2, and this 1 by R3, we have VI2 by R of 3. Okay, what we have assumed here is, we have assumed this R1 is equal to R3 and R2 is equal to R4. In that case, what will happen? The value that we have here, that is 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1, will be cut by this value 1 by R4 plus 1 by R3. Okay, that will be cut, and we can directly write this value as VO is nothing but VI2 by R3 minus, this is I1, right? So minus VI1 by R1, or this R3 can be written as R of 1 and this is R of 1. Okay, and this is nothing but R of 2. So this can be simply written as VO is nothing but R2 by R of 1 VI2 minus V of I1. Okay, this is our equation. Okay, so what we have assumed this is equal. So in that case I have directly write this equation. If you solve it, you will see that this value and this value will cut together. Okay, and we will find out this equation. Okay, so what we are getting VO as V of O is R2 by R of 1 VI2 minus VI1. Okay, which is nothing but the difference between the two voltages, input voltages, that is this and this, and we are getting a gain factor, that is R2 by R1. We are saying that this R3 is equal to R of 1 and R4 is equal to R of 2. Okay, we are saying that, or we can say this R2 by R1, the ratio of R1 by R2 and R3 by 4 will be equal. Okay, we can also say that. So this is the one way, this is the complex way that we solve the equation. If we just go to the superposition rule, it will be much easier to solve. Okay, so what we are saying that this is our circuit, main circuit. If we apply superposition, case 1 will be when we are grounding the one input voltage. Okay, and case 2 will be when we are grounding this inverting terminal. Okay, so for case 1, this is work as a inverting amplifier, right? This is nothing but inverting amplifier. Okay, and we are saying this this V plus and this minus will be equal, right? So for inverting amplifier, we have the input voltage VI1. Because there is no flow of current inside it, this is 0, and because all the terminals are grounded, hence there will be no flow of current inside here. So this V plus, this whole terminal will be grounded, taken as a grounded. So for inverting amplifier, we can directly write VO1. If we just see this is VO1 and this is VO2. Okay, so VO1, due to the one source grounded, we are getting as an inverting amplifier, which is nothing but minus R2 by R1 VI1. We have already solved in the inverting amplifier how this equation will come. Okay, in case 2, the circuit is working as a non-inverting amplifier. Okay, this is non-inverting amplifier, right? So how this inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, and this is our V plus. So for the source, that is V plus, the equation can be VO2 can be written as 1 plus R2 by R1, that is feedback resistance by input resistance, into V plus. Okay, now we want our output in terms of VI2. So what is V plus? V plus is nothing but the voltage drop across the R4, right? Voltage drop across R4. So we can just directly use a voltage divider rule and find out the voltage across this. So R4 plus R3, we can write, right? R3 into VI2. This is our V plus. Okay, so this we can write as a V2, and if we write here the overall equation, this V02 is nothing but 1 plus R2 by R1 R4 by R3, R4 plus R3 into VI2. Okay, so the total output will be what? V01 plus V02. We are using superposition. So V01 is minus R2 by R of 1 Vi1 plus VO2 is 1 plus R2 by R of 1, and this is your R4 R3 plus R4 into Vi2. Okay, so here again we can see actually this is nothing but the difference between these two input voltages, okay, only with the help of these scaling factor. So again, if we assume that this R4 by R3 ratio, R4 by R3 ratio is equal to R2 R1, then we will find out, we will have this, if or we can say this R4 is equal to R2 and R1 is equal to R3. Okay, if we assume this, if, okay, this is if, then we can write, if we make this R2 R1 equal, then what will happen, this will be actually if I just solve it here, this will be your minus R2 by R of 1. If I just place 1 plus, if we just solve this equation, it will be 2 by R of 1, and this can again be written as 1 by R3 by R4 and plus 1. Okay, so this R4 by R3 and R3 by R4, I will just make it much simpler. If we can just solve it like this, I know you all know how to calculate it. Okay, so this can be written as R1 plus R2 by R of 1, and this is nothing but R4 R3 plus R of 4, that is Vi2. If this R1 and R3 is equal, R2 and R4 is equal, then it can be cut, and we can directly use this R2 by R1 Vi1 and plus this R4 by R1 can again be written as R2 by R1. Okay, R4 can be equal to R2, so this will be Vi2, and hence we will get R2 by R1 Vi2 minus Vi1, right? So what we are saying, if we make if we take these equation, if we take these condition, we will again get R2 by R1 Vi2 minus Vi1. Okay, if you want to make this R2 equal to R1, that means all the resistances are equal, then we will get the perfect subtraction of the two input voltages. Okay, so just you have to follow all the points here. Okay, so what we have done here is this, that this signal can this circuit can be broken into two circuits, case 1 and case 2. For a linear application, we can use a superposition theorem, and for case 1, when this non-inverting terminal is grounded, then we have a inverting amplifier, and for which the equation is nothing but this V01. Okay, the output is this, and if I just can use another pen, yeah, so this is our output for V01. For V02, we have a equation for this, for non-inverting amplifier. Okay, when the inverting terminal is grounded, and because this is V plus, there is a resistance, we have to find out the voltage drop across this R4 to find out the V plus, and V plus can be find out in terms of Vi2. Okay, so this is our equation, Superposition said that we can have a summation of two individual output due to individual inputs. Okay, so we are just putting these two values, this value and this value, and solving the equation for VO. What we are making simple, we are taking this condition and this condition, that the ratio of the resistances are equal, or we can say the individual resistances are equal. By using any two condition, we can directly solve this equation in this way, and we can find out the relation, which is nothing but showing that the output voltage is actually the amplification of the difference of the input voltages, that is Vi to Vi1, and the amplification factor is depends on the resistance value. If we can change these resistances value, we can change the gain of the amplifier. Okay, so this is a very important application of differential amplifier, as it is a difference amplifier, but we are not using in open loop, it is in the feedback condition, right? So this condition is actually can be modified further, and we can use it for further application, and we can just find we can use it as a last stage, you can say, for a difference for any kind of application. Then why we are saying that is because let's take yeah. So what will happen if we just use this difference amplifier in any circuitry? Okay, so the purpose of using this operational amplifier is for instrumentation or in any measurement or circuits. Amplifier is used for amplifying certain signals, right? So it can be like this can be not a resistance, but it can be a thermistor. It can be a thermistor, that is that will the resistance will change with the use of temperature. With the change in temperature, it can be any RTD, means any device, any sensor which changes the resistive value due to change in the physical signal. Okay, so if we connect this kind of circuits, bridge circuit, into the operational amplifier, because we are saying that we are applying both the signals at the terminal, so if we connect just this kind of circuits, what will happen? These values, like these resistances, are very small in nature. Okay, whenever we are using certain sensor, the output voltage difference, the change in voltage will be very small, and the resistive value will also be very small. Voltage drop across the terminals. Okay, so the high input impedance is a very important requirement, and that can be achieved with the help of unity gain buffer. We have already discussed about this unity gain buffer, we have already discussed. Okay, so why we use unity gain buffer? Because its high input impedance is very high. Because we have solved this circuit, we have find out the circuit output in terms of only this fact, that the input impedance of the op-amp has been made infinity. Okay, so we can what we can do, if we can connect unity gain buffer here, somewhere here, if we can just connect a buffer kind of connection, then we can have a high input impedance before the difference amplifier, and that will help us to have a high differential gain, and this kind of requirement actually lead us to make use of instrumentation amplifier. Okay, so what is this instrumentation amplifier? That we will be discussing in the next class. Okay, we will be discussing about this instrumentation amplifier and other few application in linear region. So this is just to give you an overview of that. If we connect this operational amplifier, if there is a pre-stage, Then the ideal properties or the single mode operation that we were talking about in operational amplifier, the important thing is to have a high input impedance. But due to the certain circuitry that we are connecting to the difference amplifier, the input impedance of the circuit may get compromised, and to have that control over the input impedance of the operational amplifier, to have that high input impedance, we can try to make some connection in between the stages, like if this is the last stage, this is the first stage, then in the middle stage we can connect a high input impedance configuration of operation amplifier, which we have already discussed, that that is a kind of unity gain buffer. So if we just can connect that kind of device in between these two stages, we will be able to have a amplifier which can be used very well in instrumentation or measurement systems, and hence the name is called as an instrumentation amplifier, right? So we will be discussing about it in the next class. Till then you can practice few questions because we have already talked about a few circuits till now. Now you can just pick up some op-amp related circuitry and you can try to solve it. If you have any doubt if you have any query related to this class or the question that you are going to solve, you can ask in the comment box. Okay, thank you for now, and we will meet again in the tomorrow class. Thank you.